What most people don't realize about extreme wealth is that it often runs on borrowed time. Not borrowed money alone, but borrowed goodwill, borrowed silence, borrowed patience. And when that patience runs out, things don't collapse loudly at first. They tighten, quietly, systematically. According to multiple sources familiar with Hollywood finance circles, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are now facing intense pressure over unresolved financial obligations connected to their Montecito property. This is not about gossip or tabloid drama. This is about deadlines, repayment expectations, and the sudden reclassification of a personal relationship into a financial dispute. At the center of the issue is Tyler Perry, a man whose influence in entertainment is matched only by his reputation for discipline and control. Perry is not known for impulsive decisions. He does not speak publicly unless something private has already failed, which is why his reported ultimatum has sent shockwaves through both Hollywood and royal watcher communities. The message, according to those close to the matter, was simple. Resolve the outstanding financial obligation tied to the Montecito home within a defined window, or prepare for formal legal action. That alone changes everything. Because Tyler Perry is not a bank scrambling for leverage, he is a billionaire with options. When someone like that moves toward court, it signals exhaustion, not aggression. It means informal solutions are gone. To understand how this situation developed, you have to go back to early 2020, the moment Harry and Meghan abruptly left Canada. Their security arrangements were unstable, their long-term residence uncertain, their relationship with the royal institution fractured beyond repair. At that point, they did not yet have U.S. residency infrastructure, permanent protection, or reliable income streams. This is where Tyler Perry quietly entered the picture. At the time, it was described as generosity. He reportedly opened his Beverly Hills home to them, helped arrange private security, and offered a bridge while they recalibrated their lives. Publicly, this was framed as compassion. Privately, according to multiple accounts, it evolved into something far more substantial. As the couple began pursuing the Montecito property, gaps emerged, not in desire, but in liquidity. Luxury real estate requires timing, not just approval. Down payments don't wait for future contracts, and it is here that Perry's support allegedly expanded from hospitality into financial backing. The arrangement, sources say, was informal. No press releases, no public contracts, no headlines, just trust. That trust worked until it didn't. Over time, according to insiders, repayment schedules slowed, communication became sporadic, messages went unanswered, and the tone between parties shifted from friendly to distant. This is where financial relationships reveal their truth, not when money is flowing, but when it stops. What followed was not an explosion, but a freeze. Tyler Perry did not attack publicly. He withdrew. Interviews changed, references to the Sussexes disappeared, support became neutral silence, and silence, in financial terms, is a warning. Meanwhile, the Sussex financial ecosystem began to strain. Streaming deals that once promised long-term security underperformed. Spotify exited early amid public criticism. Netflix projects struggled to maintain momentum beyond initial curiosity spikes. Brand launches stalled. Revenue projections failed to materialize at expected levels. At the same time, expenses remained enormous. The Montecito estate alone carried a multi-million-dollar mortgage, escalating property taxes, full-time private security, staff salaries, maintenance costs, legal retainers, and PR infrastructure. This is not a lifestyle that survives on intermittent income. Compounding the pressure was the complete absence of royal financial support. Unlike previous generations, Harry and Meghan had no institutional backstop, no duchy funds, no quiet interventions, no emergency assistance. Whatever protection once existed ended decisively after the memoirs, interviews, and sustained public criticism of the monarchy. By 2024, they were operating independently and visibly alone. So when Tyler Perry's patience reportedly ran out, there was no alternative lender waiting in the wings, no palace safety net, no Hollywood consortium eager to intervene, just a clock. And when someone like Perry introduces the word court into the conversation, the issue stops being about money alone. It becomes about exposure. Because court means discovery, and discovery means bank records, texts, emails, side agreements, tax positions, foundation ties, asset disclosures. A single private loan doesn't stay isolated once it enters litigation. It opens doors to every handshake deal connected to it. This is why the Montecito mansion is more than a home. It's collateral. It's evidence. It's a symbol of a lifestyle built faster than its foundation. And notably, there has been no formal denial, no documentation released to counter the reports, no statements clarifying repayment terms, just silence, which in financial disputes rarely signals confidence. Behind the scenes, sources describe asset reviews, liquidity assessments, and contingency planning, jewelry, inheritances, residual income, potential sales. When cash becomes urgent, even symbolic assets become negotiable. Hollywood is watching closely because if Tyler Perry is willing to move publicly, others will reassess their own positions. Private lenders do not like being last in line. Financial avalanches begin when one voice breaks first. From the outside, Montecito still looks serene, gated, manicured, untouched. But houses remember numbers, and debts don't disappear because the view is beautiful. The most dangerous thing about financial pressure is not loss, it's illumination. Because once money issues surface publicly, narratives no longer control the outcome. Documents do. And that's where this story becomes far more consequential than a single property dispute. According to filings and reports cited by multiple observers, the Sussex charitable structure has also experienced strain in recent years. Expenses rose sharply, donations declined, staff reductions followed, regulatory attention increased. None of this proves wrongdoing, but it creates scrutiny. And scrutiny is unforgiving. When charities blur lines between operational costs and lifestyle overlap, auditors don't speculate. They calculate. They trace. They freeze accounts when answers don't arrive fast enough. Sources describe delayed filings, increased oversight, and growing caution among donors. When nonprofit cash flow slows, personal finances feel it immediately, especially when the two are closely intertwined. This matters because private lenders pay attention to institutional signals. When foundations wobble, confidence evaporates. When confidence evaporates, repayment expectations harden. Which brings us back to Tyler Perry. His reported ultimatum didn't arrive during the Sussexes' peak relevance. It arrived when income streams were weakening, institutional buffers were thin, and scrutiny was rising. That timing matters because people don't enforce debts when they believe recovery is guaranteed. They enforce when they sense risk, and risk changes behavior. Once court becomes a possibility, everything is reassessed. Public statements stop, lawyers replace friends, assets are evaluated for liquidity, silence becomes strategic. The absence of a public rebuttal here is telling, not because it confirms guilt, but because it suggests complexity. Simple misunderstandings are corrected quickly. Complicated ones are managed quietly. If this moves forward legally, the Montecito property would not just be at risk, it would become central. Mortgages, loan structures, payment histories, informal agreements, all subject to examination. And once one dispute enters daylight, others often follow. That is how reputations shift, not through scandal, but through math. The irony is stark. Montecito was meant to symbolize independence, control, freedom from institutional constraint. Instead, it may come to represent something else entirely: the cost of leaving without a financial runway long enough to sustain the landing. Tyler Perry did not create this problem, he illuminated it, because generosity without boundaries eventually becomes obligation, and obligation, when ignored, becomes enforcement. No one is rooting for collapse here, but stories built on aspiration don't override ledgers built on fact. And right now, the ledger is speaking. The clock is real, the pressure is real, and whatever resolution comes, settlement, sale, restructuring, it will not be quiet. Because independence funded by loans is not independence, it's postponement. And postponement always ends the same way, with a reckoning.